Yo? Yo. Okay. Much better. Man, I'm just having technical difficulty after technical difficulty. Okay, much better. Tennis Elbow, did you enjoy Essential Tennis's little live stream like Q&A? I've never seen him do one like that before. That was good. I appreciate that from him. What's up, Chris Perry? Thanks for dropping down in the comments on my ISO speed baseline control. I know I kind of introduced you to it, and I'm happy I could save you and your family some money. And obviously you speak very highly of it as a very high level tennis player, state champ as yourself. 42 Tennis Elbow, huh? Austin Stark, ISO speed baseline control. Austin Stark, I literally just released a video on that today. Hey guys, everybody say hi to Scott Brady. He's my mentor that I ended up playing at Essential Tennis's match play about a month and a half ago, and he's actually being featured in Essential Tennis's upcoming match play. So, oh, here. So, guys, Scott Brady is this gentleman on the left side of the screen you're seeing right here. So everybody say hi to Scott. What's up, Christopher Dahl? CJ Cobb, Chinese restaurant next to the waterfall? Like, I don't get that. I don't get that reference. I've been to quite a bit of Chinese restaurants in my lifetime. Chris Dahl, that's a good question. So typically speaking, when it comes to thinner gauges, the spin potential and the feel is significantly better. Sorry. The spin potential, the feel, and the ball pocketing is always better the thinner the gauge is. However, the durability obviously is significantly less. But also, the launch angle coming off the frame, specifically the launch angle coming off of the tennis string bed, is a lot higher because it's a lot thinner. So that's the only advice I could actually feel comfortable giving you at this point. Oh, it's the music on the stream. Yeah. It's okay. If it makes you feel any better, it's made by a white guy named Harris Heller. He's one of the reasons why I started a YouTube channel, because he kind of gave me tips. He is the main guy that runs Alpha Gaming. So he's done quite a bit of work. He's made a full-time living out of it, and he's quite successful, and he kind of coaches people on how to be successful streamers on top of being successful YouTube content creators. So I'm hoping to get there. I've taken a lot of good advice from him. Again, his name is Harris Heller. He's a music producer and a content creator and a streamer. So check him out on Alpha Gaming. He runs the Alpha Gaming YouTube channel. It's pretty good stuff. I've never hit with a Neil Screw. I've never hit with Attorney Big Hitter Silver 7 tour, but I've heard really good things about Turna as a string manufacturer because they're super cheap and apparently it's high quality string. So I'm pretty excited to be able to play test it thoroughly. So yeah, I mean, thank you for the tip, and it's obviously always in the back of my head for these smaller, more quote unquote generic tennis string manufacturers. I'm pretty excited for stuff like this. Yeah, Damien, I saw your comment. Let's take a look at it. David Ashman, try to go around the lower part of that 45 to 55 range, in my opinion. Yeah, Chris, I'll let you know. I'll shoot you a text. I'm assuming you're home for quite a bit of time, given the whole COVID situation. So we'll get some dubs going. Good seeing you, man. Oh, it's breaking while stringing? Take your time. Are you one-piecing or two-piecing it? I always two-piece my tennis strings if I possibly can. My opinion, my advice to you, Neil Scuro, is always two-piece it. And if it comes out of the reel, or if it comes out of the reel or the packet, if it's like very much circular, because that's how they package it efficiently, these tennis string manufacturers, I would let it kind of like sit, maybe for like not necessarily half a day, but a few hours. Just kind of have it lay on your floor, assuming you don't have any dogs, cats, or small children that'll chew on it, and just let it like kind of rest naturally. And then after I would say like what, hour and a half, Scott Brody, he's obviously a stringer as well, just be very, very careful both on the mains and the crosses when you thread it through, to make sure it's not notching, to just like let it have it be as straight as possible before you pull any tension all the way through into the grommet. That's my advice to you. Typically that only happens with for me, natural gut. That does happen, especially with the notching on the crosses and on the knots actually. But also there's a string called Silinco barbed wire, which is a complete pain to string. It's so freaking twisted, the texture of the string, that even if I let it lay down for like half a day, I have to be very, very, very careful on pulling it on the crosses. Joseph Bautista, yes, I am doing a bag check soon. So someone reached out to me, and this individual found me on YouTube, and he actually owns his own tennis bag company, and his philosophy is absolutely fantastic. If you take a look at it, or if you think about it, right? Think about it. Tennis strings, tennis rackets, all these large companies have always claimed that they've always been advancing the technology and the workflow and the way that they market these tennis strings and tennis rackets to the customers, to where tennis players would buy strings, obviously very often, but they will buy tennis rackets almost every 2 years, every time they come out with a new version. So this individual, and I'll obviously give him a shout out when I do a bag check, because me and him are talking, and again, not sponsored by him, but I definitely believe in his vision of his tennis bag company. I think he has a really good heart for consumers such as you and me. He's saying, why not take that innovation that all these massive tennis companies like Wilson and Babylon that they're doing with their rackets and strings, and why not do it for tennis bags themselves? So I believe I will get the bags for me to do like a thorough, unbiased review either mid to late December this year. So hopefully in like 2.5 weeks, and I'll definitely let you guys know. And yeah, that's when I'll be doing kind of the bag check for it too, because in my opinion, it's a really good idea, and he's a really good guy, and you know he's gonna do well, and I definitely do want to support him. I'm not even asking for money or anything in return. I'm just doing it because, like, yeah, it seems like a really good idea, and why not? To be honest, Chad, as much as I want to kind of like give you marketing BS and have you believe that I know what the heck I'm talking about when it comes to thinner gauges, other than feeling that thinner gauges give you more spin potential, give you more feel, give you better ball pocketing, and give you less durability, and also on top of that, a higher launch angle naturally, at least for ground strokes. I really don't know about the hollow feeling. That might be dependent on the type of tennis string that you're playing around with the gauges. So the biggest reason why I try to test either 16 gauge for tennis strings, or if they don't make 16 gauges, a 16L. I don't really play test 17 or 17Ls because it's not consistent for you guys. Hey Tennis Junkie, welcome to the channel. I have not reviewed the Ytex Quadro Twist, but a lot of people on my channel and also people in my tennis circle have recommended I check out Ytex because about 2 years ago I actually did sign up for the Ytex Ambassador Program, and they gave me their sample box, or their starter pack, whatever you want to call it, where they gave me like 15, not 15, I think like 7 or 8 polyesters. Yeah, they're all polyesters to try out. And I did play with the Ytex, was it the Quadro Twist? Yeah, I did play with the Ytex Quadro Twist. But again, it's been 2.5 years. There's a possibility that, I think his name's Ivor, who owns Ytex out in Georgia. I believe it's Georgia. There's a possibility that he might have changed the formula, or he might have gotten it from, different manufacturers, or he might have just completely gotten it from a brand new manufacturer, depending on what a supply chain and logistics are like. But I do want to review the Ytex Quadro Twist and a few of the Ytex polyesters that I have in the past in this current setting, because obviously if I'm a Ytex ambassador and I'm getting special deals from Ytex, it's not fair to you guys for me to give my honest opinion from a consumer-friendly perspective, because I'm getting a really special discount. So in the near future, I think I do have at least one, if not two, Ytex strings on my list for me to play test and review for you guys in the first half of 2021. Chad, no, that's fine. I'm having questions, dude. And as long as you're able to ask questions, I'm gonna drink beer in front of you guys because I'm an idiot. This moment brought to you by King Sue. It's a double IPA, so it's gonna really hit me pretty hard because I just got done with the workout. Let's see. In all honesty, Chad, like I personally, because I play tennis at least 10 hours a week, I've really never had that problem unless it's giving me arm problems, or if I'm playtesting a string and I'm already sick of it. So if I'm not playtesting, and if I'm not thinking that the string is going to injure my arm, hand, or elbow, I usually play with the string until it snaps. And but for you, in your situation, given that you're not using the racket for a season and you think there's not much life left and the durability's gone to crap, yeah, go ahead and cut it. Go ahead and cut it. Yes, formula meme. I have probably made, so let's see. I have strung about 7,000 rackets of my lifetime. Let's do the math, right? So let's say I've strung 7,000 rackets in my lifetime, which is a fair estimate, right? Let's multiply that by 10, because that's how much the stringing surcharge is on a conservative estimate, right? It could be up to 15 or 20, depending on where you live. So that's $70,000 right there that I've saved myself over 10 years. That's literally a salary in US dollars in any first world country. That's an upper echelon of a salary. On top of the fact that, let's say I saved $30,000 or so in stringing, so that's 70,000. Let's say I have saved myself $30,000 in string material, like knowing what strings are good and cheap, like the ISO speed baseline control. Yeah, I've saved myself like well over 6 figures. So yeah, do it. Also, kind of a derivative to that, if you're able to string as a young, not young, but like as a young adult, right? You're going to be a lot more marketable to tennis clubs on both a part-time and a full-time basis. So if you're able to talk to people, if you're able to prove you're a high-level tennis player, or at least competent, if you have good communication skills, if I have 2 of those people and I'm interviewing them, and one of them is able to string and one of them isn't, guess who I'm gonna pick. So it's a good skill to learn. Also, as a lot of people have said, and myself included, stringing, in my opinion, is very therapeutic, in the sense that everything's pretty stressful. But if you have a machine at home, and you have like a second bedroom or like a basement, if you live in a family house, you're able to like watch YouTube videos or watch movies while having a drink and also making money as it is. So it's a very good, I wouldn't say a life skill in general, because not everybody plays tennis. But if you see yourself playing tennis in this lifetime, or for a pretty good amount of your future, learn how to string a tennis racket. It's gonna save you and it's gonna make you a lot of money. That's my personal opinion. Marvin Andres, I am using the eZone 98 2020 version, not the Tour, just the regular. Bill Bong, I don't really know. I will give Luxilon this, that there are strings, at least right out of the gates, for the first like 2.5 hours of play testing and hitting. They do feel different, and they feel pretty good. But they kind of like take a shit afterwards. So as for like alternatives to Luxilon, I don't know quite yet. But I'm pretty sure if you go through the comment section of the Luxilon strings I did review, there's going to be some tips. But as of now, that really hasn't been like a target focus in my YouTube channel, because RPM Blast was kind of a thing. And in all honesty, ever since I did make this channel, I've always wanted to find the perfect time to tell the internet, and therefore the world, about ISO speed baseline control in comparison to the Babolat RPM Blast. Is Revolve Spin, Martin Tennis World, is Revolve Spin, is that polyester, or is that a multi-filament, or is that somewhere in between? Joseph Bautista, it really depends. So that is a good question, and to be honest, I could probably make like a 3-part YouTube video series on that, because like obviously back in, I would say, the mid 90s or even earlier, the one-handed backhand was obviously very, very dominant. You got John McEnroe, and you got occasional ones like Bjorn Borg, but you got John McEnroe, you got Rod Laver, you've got Pete Sampras, and a whole host of other ones. But when power tennis from the baseline started to become a thing, you got Marat Safin, you got Andre Agassi in the second half of his career, you got Leighton Hewitt. They started to kind of like take over the idea of having a backhand put two hands on the racket. It really depends on the level of play. It also depends on the style, the strength, and to be honest, as weird as it sounds, the height of the tennis player. So my rule of thumb is females, I would argue, should almost always have a two-handed backhand, just because the female body, specifically for tennis, is drastically different from the male body. And it's the idea that if you want to be able to be competitive and be strong and play to your strengths, especially on a backhand, which is typically what a weaker wing is from the baseline, you want to be able to be defensive, strong, and stable, which is, again, partially why most ATP players, most men players on the Pro Tour, do have a two-handed backhand, because they think of the two-hander as... They think of the backhand as like, you don't hit a lot of winners off, you just kind of block it back. But then again, yes, you do have people like Roger Federer, you have people like Stan Wawrinka and Dominic Thiem and Richard Gasquet be able to kind of break out of that mold and kind of like give people across the tennis net a different look. So that is a very tough question, and I don't want to take up this whole stream talking about it. But Joseph Bautista, it just depends. That's my short answer to literally a 5-hour rant. So forgive me. Big Lenny, I have not tried the Korshbaum Pro Line Evolution. I actually got 4 messages today telling me to try it. So it's definitely, if it's not on my list already, it's definitely in the back of my head. My background is, let's see. My parents emigrated from a third world country. I'm the firstborn here. I was the first in my extended family to graduate with an American undergrad degree. English is my second language. I started playing tennis when I was in 3rd grade, so I think that's 8 or 9 years old. I was a nationally ranked junior up until I was 12, and then everybody started hitting puberty, and I was still 4'9" until I was a sophomore in high school, so that was kind of a pain. And I kind of burned out of tennis until I would argue, around 19 years old, and that's when I started taking tennis seriously again. And so my educational background is I have a business finance degree from a small state school in Wisconsin, which is in the Midwest United States, and I am now a software engineer. So yeah, it's been a wild ride so far. I still coach part-time, string tennis rackets part-time. I'm a drone operator for obviously my YouTube videos, which I haven't done in a while just because Wisconsin winters are hard for drones. I'm taking up photography on the side, and apparently I'm doing this YouTube thing, and a lot of people are enjoying it. So I'm thankful for you guys, and I hope to keep bringing you guys more content out there that's going to help you and be more well-informed consumers. Yeah, the ISO speed baseline control, Andrew Park, is it's round. So other than both of those strings, the ISO speed baseline control and the Solinco Hyper G 17 gauge, other than those 2 strings being polyesters, they basically don't have anything in common. The ISO speed baseline control is going to have a lot more comfort, more ball pocketing, and more feel. The Solinco Hyper G is going to have a lot more spin potential, and it's going to be a lot more uncomfortable. Best string on the market overall, in my opinion, Soul Mythology. Does that include price, or does that not include price? You need to be specific on that. Yes, Corrupt GT, Luxon Alu Power. I wouldn't say it's crap. It does lose tension fairly quick. I don't like it because of how expensive it is. Marvin Andres, I do not add any weight to it, not yet at least, because I'm starting to gain muscle again because COVID was a pain for me. I lost literally 10 pounds of upper body mass. My opinion, my advice for you, Marvin Andres, is you can always add weight to a tennis racket. So you can always add lead tape, and then if you don't like it, you can always take it off. So my opinion is you could get the regular E-Zone. and then add weight to it, because if you buy the E-Zone Tour and you find that it's way too heavy after like 2.5 months of hitting and playing with it, guess what? Unless you are like a Dr. Manhattan god or like a physicist from the future, you cannot take away mass. So get the regular version and play around with it with lead tape. What made me switch from confidential to hyper G? The spin potential Bing Bong. Bill Bong. From confidential to hyper G, the spin potential. But to be honest, I'm very much considering switching back from the hyper G back to the confidential, because I'm getting slight elbow discomfort right now. That also might be because I'm playing a lot of tennis and I'm not necessarily working out the right muscles at this time, but I'm working on that. But I am actually thinking about going back to the confidential as my main string. So I'm going to play around with that in the near future. Three-handed backhand is, that's a Chad move. If you are able to hit a three-handed backhand, and for those of you guys that don't know what a three-handed backhand is, that's literally when you take both hands on the tennis racket and then you strap your off dominant foot to the bottom, to the butt cap of the racket. Because guess what? You know how much more stable a two-handed backhand is compared to a one-hander? Imagine the 10,000 IQ that you can play if you're able to put that ligament to the bottom of your racket. So stable. Oh my goodness. I'm surprised I haven't seen that on tour yet. CJ Cobb, honeydews. No, that's what that is, because I'm not married. I've never been married, and I probably never will be, because I'm way too selfish. Buy something used. I would say a 6-point stringing machine that's obviously not drop weight, which is what you said. Take a look at like a Facebook Marketplace, or maybe not Craigslist, because Craigslist, I honestly feel like if you buy something on Craigslist and you meet up with that person, there's a 25% chance you won't make it to the next day. But buy something used off of a site that you trust. It's kind of like buying a used car, your very first car, if you were to ever have God forbid, a teenager. You want your child who just turned 16 or whatever the hell legal age it is to have a permit or be able to drive in your country. You want them to drive a used crappy Honda Civic. You don't want them to drive a Mercedes C300 right out of the lot, which is kind of what I drove, but more on that later. So buy something used, and make sure that the person seems to be well-to-do. That's my opinion. Yeah, Shapovalov has a brutal one-hand backhand. You know what else Shapovalov has a very brutal one of? When he hits an umpire in the eye. Oh my god. That was such a good video, and I felt so sorry for that guy. Woo! My favorite part of that video, honestly, was the sound coming off of the microphone from that that umpire's eye. I felt so sorry. I don't even feel sorry for Shapovalov. Like, for stuff like that, like a Djokovic in the 2020 US Open, dude, you're a professional athlete. If you launch a ball at a certain direction, there's like a real world chance, a chance greater than zero, that's gonna hit someone and they're not gonna be noticing. They have to be more careful of that. For me, Chad, I break polyesters, and I think I do break the ISO-speed baseline control after about 4 hours of straight hitting. So 4 hours of straight hitting probably translates to about 6 hours of me on that court with that string specifically. So that never has really been a problem for me. So I honestly, I can't comment on that. But, obviously, do your research. Let me know. But keep in mind, dude, Chad, that is $40 a reel. That is $2.50 of US dollars that you're spending on a string. So in my opinion, even if it does lose durability 25% quicker than the RPM Blast, it's still worth it by a long shot, in my opinion. So, but that's obviously something you have to make for your own. Barath Ayapa, I have not played with a hybrid polyester. So I can't comment on that. So guys, if you actually I'll Sorry, Barath, I don't know, so I just asked the chat. So if you guys have any suggestions for hybrid setups, round hybrid setups specifically for Barath Ayapa, please go in the chat and help a brother out. Yes, Tennis Elbow, I do speak Tagalog. Kumusta ka? Ken Harris, and I know Ken, like because I've been doing so many hip thrusts, and trust me, don't want to sound weird, every time I do hip thrusts in the gym, and when I make eye contact with both a guy and a girl, guess who I think of? I think of you, Ken Harris. I apologize, I've been really busy with a lot of things, both related and not related to the YouTube channel, so I do need to make a vlog. And I will probably how about this? I promise you I will record my vlog sometime on Saturday, so 2 days from now, and I will publish it by Saturday night, if not even Sunday morning. How about that, Ken Harris? Josh Kara, I'm glad that you got the nuclear launch detected kind of meme. I did play StarCraft back in the day. StarCraft, especially StarCraft Brood Wars, is one of the greatest RTS of all time. Right on top with Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne, the RTS. Yeah, man, I miss it. But I'm playing World of Warcraft right now, so I'm busy with other Blizzard Activision stuff. Daniel M, workouts with elbow discomfort. I would say take a look at your racket and string setup first before you think about having like a specific workout for it. But in my opinion, and I know this sounds super bro-like and just super masculine, but bicep curls and bench press have helped me with getting over tennis elbow and elbow discomfort overall pretty quickly, just because of that motion of, for me it's the right arm because I have one-hand backhand, of that motion and getting the muscle kind of developed around it. If that doesn't work, try a masseuse, and just say, hey, I play tennis, my elbow kind of sucks, and they'll do some magic with it. Just be careful with the masseuse though. If that third hand comes in and it's going the wrong way, you might not want to go back to that place because something's up. But if you like that third hand, good for you. Tip extra. And let me know where that is. That boy 05, forehand and backhand, that is some 5D thinking, my man. That is you squatting your little tushy right on the baseline and just doing like a Gimli axe throw with both your left and right hand, duct taped to the bottom of the racket handle for maximum stability. Good man. Can you coach me? That boy 05? That's some 5D thinking, right? That's what I need to win the 4-5 nationals. Glad I can entertain you, Chet. Ghost and Polygon. I actually tuned in a buddy of mine to Ghost and Polygon. He loves it. Just make sure you buy the naturally colored version of it, because I think the black color of the Ghost and Polygon's a little bit uncomfortable. I personally don't notice it, but apparently my buddy does. So yeah, go ahead. I mean, $40. I mean, why the hell not? Vector Zhang, I am, depending on what convenience store I'm in, I'm anywhere between 5'8" and 5'11". But according to the doctor, I am 5'8 and a half. Marvin Andres, that's awesome. So the last time I was in the Philippines, I was 17 years old. So I went to Quezon City, Marvin Andres, and then I went to Manila, duh. And then we went to Bohol and Boracay. Bohol and Boracay were fantastic. The white sands, the really cheap drinks, and everybody was super nice. I loved it. It was weird though, because you know, me being Filipino, when I went to like the malls there, like even though I look like a Filipino citizen, I'm like a head above everybody, a head above males, a head above the well physically developed men. And I was also not only, you know, significantly taller than everybody, I was also like broader shoulders because I was fed well. It's a very weird feeling. Mabutika? I know that I said that with a very heavy American accent, Tennis Elbow. But I'm doing good as well. Mabuti ako. Kamusta ka, pare? Tennis Elbow. How do I mentally prepare for a match, Anthony Productions? I drink a lot of vodka and eat a lot of KFC or Wendy's. Best quality control for manufacturing, Barath, is Prokenix, actually. I don't know if they manufacture those tennis rackets anymore. Prokenix. Oh, Chad, I absolutely hate the Babylon Pure Drive. It's a garbage racket in my opinion. The Babylon Pure Drive should be used by people that have played tennis maybe 3 or 4 times in their life and have hit maybe 3 or 4 clean balls per private lesson. I hate the Babylon Pure Drive. Well, Deadboy05, if you've ever played Mario Tennis, the person with the best forehanded backhand is Boo. He floats around. He's got that wicked spin. Dude, every time I go to a drinking party with my friends and they have like a GameCube or like some sort of Nintendo console and they have Mario or Mario Tennis, I always pick Boo. Guess what? He's not righty. He's lefty in this version because I made him so. The most wicked kick and slice serve for both singles and doubles, and the best forehanded backhand I've ever seen in my life. Better than Rafa Nadal, better than Bernard Tomic, better than Nick Kyrgios's forehanded backhand. It is so technically perfect the way he floats across the court. I agree, David. Like, Yannick has done a very good job with their quality control. They only have one factory out of that one town in Japan, and they support the town. That is awesome. Victor Zhang, I did try Valorant. I think it was I got a beta key in April of 2020, and I really did like it. I really did like it, Victor Zhang. I was very surprised because when I looked at Valorant, you know, you kind of judge a book by its cover because it's 2020 and we have social media. But I expected like fast-paced kind of things, and Valorant is surprisingly like slow-paced and very meticulous. It's a lot, in my opinion, Valorant is a lot slower paced than any Counter-Strike version I've ever played in my life. I really do like it. It's just, it's not my thing. Like, I dabbled in it. I was pretty good at it. I'm pretty good at FPSs, even though I'm not the best at it. I'm pretty damn good. But I did like it, but I never got into it to where like, oh, 4 of the 5 people have this hero, therefore to comp the abilities and ultimates best with my current team setup, I need this hero. I wasn't really into that. I never got that into it. Ken Harris, it's my sarcastic answer would be I wish I was 6'2". My non-sarcastic answer is I wish that I would stop eating fast food and stop. Well, I mean, to be honest, I eat crap food because of this. It's called the drunk munchies. I don't know if you ever had that before. So I just need to get in better shape, and it's not really an issue during the summer and spring and early fall because, you know, I'm kind of forced to. But if I really want to get to the next level, aka win nationals, I gotta start making better dietary decisions. Baratha Yapa, yes, I do. Ace Bins, I do not plan on currently testing thinner gauge strings at this time. That is for consistency's sake, and 16 gauge, aka 1.3 millimeter, is the most commonly manufactured string in the world, so I'm trying to help as many people as possible. I like Dunlop Brackets, Anthony Productions. Or sorry, Formula Meme. I like Dunlop Brackets. They're pretty damn good. I just wish they were more marketable, I guess. That's a marketing question. Obviously, I'm not, even though I'm a sales guy, or definitely was a sales guy, really can't comment on that. What's up, Sharpie? Yeah, David Lee, the Yonics are pretty damn good when it comes to quality control. Rocket 90, thank you. I've never tried diadem strings, but I've had five messages today about, you know, the exact same question. They will definitely be on my list, so don't worry. They definitely will be. Yeah, MJank. Lead tape obviously is pretty cheap. I think it's like maybe $20 for like a packet. I don't know what to call it. Yeah, so why not mess around with it? Why not? Victor Zhang, MMOs right now, specifically World of Warcraft Shadowlands. I'm a tank, and I'm one of the best tanks in my server right now. And that is because I took a week off of work to really gear up for this expansion. Yes, I'm a huge frickin' nerd. Deal with it. Rocket 90, what is Solstice Power? I've never heard that before. Anthony Productions, honestly, be as cocky as humanly possible. So the thing that I say in the back of my head every time before I even walk on a tennis court for my very first, let's say specifically singles match, is that I'm literally the greatest tennis player of all time, and there's nothing that can stop me besides myself. Obviously, show respect to your opponent and everybody around you, but you have to be as cocky as humanly possible internally to build that confidence to go for that shot, to go for that winner, to hit one more shot, to make your opponent beat himself. Baratha Yapa, it really does depend on the racket and how hard you're swinging. So that is a difficult question to answer. And let's see, drills. I don't have any drills specific to the one-handed backhand. You just might have to go on YouTube, my man, Baratha, and just kind of pick and choose, because it really depends on your level and depends on what you want to work on. Whether it's a spin, whether it's strength, whether it's racket head speed, it really does depend. Yeah, rackets and strings, it's kind of like a relationship. Like, I don't want to get too philosophical, but, you know, obviously when it comes to something more powerful, like a Babylon tennis racket, you might want to string your tension a little bit higher than normal or get a more control-oriented string versus something like a Wilson K Factor 90, which obviously was a classic racket that I played in college. So it really does depend. So you do need to experiment. But my advice to you is keep the parameters the same. So if you're testing different strings, make sure the racket and tension are the same, and vice versa. Ken Harris, for me, if it's 45 degrees Fahrenheit, I will not play outside or even teach outside because it ruins my elbow. Baratha Yapa, I target down the middle if I'm playing a lefty and they try to target my single-handed backhand. Funny enough, my one-handed backhand actually considered to be my strength for most of the time. So if they want to attack my backhand, go ahead. You're going to lose. And by the way, that's a confidence I need to exude in order to win high-level tennis matches. In the back, if anybody's wondering. fastest serve Ken Harris I've ever clocked at is 127 miles per hour, but that was during the drill. It was on the ad side, and there was no pressure on me whatsoever. Gaming stream, I'm thinking about it, but I'm running out of time because we only have 24 hours in a day. So, Victor Zhang, if I ever feel like I'm making enough money on YouTube doing tennis stuff and I could quit my job comfortably, I would be more than happy doing World of Warcraft or any type of video game stuff for you guys. Sierra Tennis, I've never bought a ball machine. So, yeah, I've never experimented with it. I know, right? It was totally a fluke, though. I would never go for that type of shot in a match that actually mattered, like a state league match, ever. It's such a stupid idea. Tennis comedy? The only thing I need for tennis comedy is if you go on YouTube right now and search Bernard Tomic work ethic and Nick Kyrgios mental strength, I think you'll do just fine. Is Elliot Loney, is that the guy that does the impersonation of like Rafa Nadal, Novak Djokovic? He does a really good Rafa Nadal impression, I believe. We're talking about the same guy. Sierra Tennis, are we talking about the same dude here? Bharat Ayappa. Take your grip, make it volley grip, continental grip, and just block it back towards the middle of the court. That's my opinion for you. Just get the point started, let the point play out. Because your opponent can't make an error if you don't get it back in play. Ace Bins, yes, Adam, I've never met him in person, but I did text Scott about who he played when he told me he did play Adam. I've actually heard of his name before because I grew up in the Illinois area, specifically the northwest suburbs of Chicago. I've heard of his name before, and I would love to play him, but I've never had the opportunity to shake his hand or meet him in person. But I definitely want to. Maybe that might be a thing in the future. So I definitely got to get in shape and not drink beer on a Thursday night when hanging out with you guys. Even though I love hanging out with you guys, I should probably do it, sober. But apparently he's a very respected player, and I can't wait to see that video and have a beer with Scott about that tennis match. So I will be on that live stream, guys. Essential Tennis, there is another singles match, and surprisingly, I'm not featured. I'm actually not butthurt, believe it or not. So I'm excited to see it. If 50 pounds is still really stiff, drop the poundage even lower, Alex Kaufman. /01 for electronic string machines. Don't buy an electronic string machine. Buy a crank one like a Gamma Progression 2. and then slap on an electric tensioner. You're gonna save yourself a lot of money, and to be honest, the head tensioners that you can buy online that are specific to pulling tension on an electronic level is better than anything Gamma can provide you. That's my opinion. Chad, start rushing the net, learn how to volley, learn how to overhead, learn how to poach. That's my opinion. Top men's player for 2022-2023. Ken Harris, whoever can do the most aggressive hip thrusts while looking at the opposite sex without blinking. I'm joking. Dominic Thiem for men's tennis. Maybe Alexander Zverev if he could stop double faulting so much in the net. And for women's tennis, I'm not so sure because I haven't been in touch with the women's tennis since literally forever. I actually don't think Serena will be. Let's see, for women's tennis, top 2. Karolina Pliskova and Alia Tomljanovic. That's my guess. Anthony Productions, how do you bring the opponent of your play down a level or 2? Cut their tennis strings and spit in their face in changeovers. I'm joking. Kind of. Do a lot of change-ups, especially with like slices on rallies, to really like bring them off rhythm. Best WoW expansion of all time, Burning Crusade, hands down. Shadowlands is good, the one out right now, but dude, Burning Crusade was so good. It was so hardcore and it was so toxic. I loved it. I had a Fury Warrior with Dragon Spine Trophy. Do you know how hard that is to get? A Fury Warrior with Dragon Spine Trophy. Holy cow, I was topping meters in raids. I was even topping Shadow Priest and Elemental Shamans. Does that mean anything to you? My goodness. Oh, I was pulling aggro off of tanks and raids even after giving them, you know, that 3 Sunder Armor? The 3 Sunder Armor lead. Oh my goodness. Ace Bins, it depends on the day. Because my schedule is flexible but also busy. It really depends on my opponent and it depends on Ian's schedule. Thanks, Elias. I'm glad I could help you out and save you some money and entertain you. Oh no, Big Lenny, no. Wrath was good, but even though it has the highest number count of subscribers, I didn't like it because it was the beginning of them, Blizzard, introducing the idea of looking for a raid, LFR. And in my opinion, this is kind of the downfall of things. I didn't mind the 10 versus 25 man kind of raids for endgame, but I still personally believe that was kind of like the downfall, at least the base of the downfall for World of Warcraft, for what I like. CC Pass is only good against bullshit Russians. And if you get that meme, I love you. And if you don't, look it up. All jokes aside, I do like Tsitsipas. I don't think he's ever going to win a Grand Slam, though. He doesn't have the firepower that team does. He'll never win a French Open because Rafa Nadal, even if he's in a wheelchair, he's still going to win the French Open and only lose one set in that Grand Slam in singles. And Tsitsipas, I don't think, has the game to win grass. MC Rin 22, just a lot of practice, dude. Especially with the upper body, core, torso, and hips. Because you need to generate a lot of racket head speed and still be able to control it. But if you're able to do that well, man, people that are watching you play tennis are gonna think you're a Greek god. Shut your fuck up, Mark! He's a little kid, he doesn't know how to fight! Sierra Tennis is just kind of going over what transpired between Daniel bullshit Russian Medvedev and Stefanos Tsitsipas, so don't worry, it's not. Arjun Reddy, I have not tried the ISOSpeed baseline cream, but I've had several comments in that video that I should, because here's the thing. If people are saying that the ISOSpeed baseline control is not even the best string that the ISOSpeed manufacturer creates, oh my god, are you gonna bet your retirement account that I'm gonna sell everything I own and buy all the ISOSpeed baseline cream I could possibly find on the internet? Barath, in all honesty, start serving flat serves from literally the service line or even closer, and then start gradually backing your way up. That's how you develop a good first serve. A good first serve that's flat. You go to the toilet and don't hit net and don't apologize? You take bathroom break? You think you're a good kid, huh? Hello, the Ian. Ian, I got your. I did get your email, so thank you for the. Thank you for that. A good man. He's a great man. Good is undercutting it. The Ian. Sorry, Sierra Tennis. By the way, guys, I did mention it before. I'm going to mention it again. There is a new tennis match play video that's coming out. And it features Scott and a very high-level tennis player from the Chicagoland area. You guys should tune in for that. Essential Tennis. Look it up on YouTube. Best YouTube content in the world when it comes to tennis. Check it out. Ian, the only question I'm going to directly ask you, because I don't want you to get flooded with thirsty DMs. When did you start even thinking about, I guess, the idea of Essential Tennis? And maybe you and I could do like some sort of like interview where we interview each other back and forth on a more professional setting. But when did you start thinking about like, hey, even though I've been coaching for a while now full time, and this whole internet thing is amazing, especially with YouTube and Google, when did you start thinking like, I think I could do this? I think I could do this by myself. $2007. All right. And you took your chance, and it has obviously paid off. Because me and everybody on this stream has been more than grateful for it. So thank you again. Oh, okay. So you did it with the podcast first and blog. Okay. I thought it was always a YouTube channel. Yeah, there is a space for it. So obviously my market is my niche is tennis string reviews when it comes to being consumer friendly. So yeah, no, thank you for your advice and thank you for the exposure. Couldn't have done it this well without you so soon. Chris Perry, you're back on stream. Okay. No, I don't play Rocket League. Because I'm not that skilled or patient. But apparently a few of my friends I play World of Warcraft with does play Rocket League, and he has a Smurf account, and he gets about 5 death threats a single game. So it's a little bit toxic, a little more than I'm used to. But given I want to dedicate myself to tennis string reviews and getting in shape and playing good tennis and giving good content to someone like giving good content to Ian Westerman out of Essential Tennis. Yeah. Only 24 hours in a day, Chris Perry. Mystery Boy 0007, how do I beat a player higher ranked than you? Get him out of his comfort zone. So for me, because I do play a lot of collegiate athletes, they're used to banging balls left and right. They're used to the rhythm. They're used to huge shots, huge topspin. I don't know if you saw my match against Cole at Essential Tennis's channel, but I did my best to get him out of rhythm by slicing a lot, especially off my backhand wing. Clearly didn't work out, but it does work more often than not for someone that is young but not nearly as experienced as Cole. So get him out of the rhythm, make them uncomfortable as much as possible, kind of like a first date when you match someone with Tinder or Bumble or whatever people use nowadays. Just get them out of their comfort zone, and then they are going to be spraying balls left and right. They're going to be making uncharacteristically unforced errors more than they should be. Get them out of their comfort zone. Oh, Sierra, his tennis videos are literally better than half of the Netflix or Hollywood things I've seen. I seriously can't wait until Scott plays Adam. So, I'm going to make coffee tomorrow morning at, here's at 9? So, 8:30, 8:45 in the morning tomorrow. And I'm just going to have a nice sip of coffee, check through my work emails, and just enjoy the YouTube premiere. I'd love to play Ira. That's something that Essential Tennis might need to set up. I've had several requests for that. I'm sure Ian has seen several requests for that. Me playing against Ira as well. But that's something that needs to be set up, hopefully sooner than later. I've only focused on his pecs, and his biceps, obviously. Yeah, not so much his back. All right, guys, I'm headed out soon because Brian and Chris need a tank in World of Warcraft, and apparently I'm the best druid tank on the server. Humble brag right there. But if you guys want to support this channel, again, please tell your friends. Hopefully I can save you and your friends and your tennis community a little bit more money and cut through the marketing BS. And please make sure you drop by Essential Tennis. Ian Westerman has been so kind to drop his grace to us, and he's the guy that I aspire to be when it comes to tennis stream reviews, given his production quality, the team he's made, and also what he's done to impact those around him. So awesome. All right, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one, and as always, happy hitting. Check out Essential Tennis. I'll see you guys in the live premiere there. Scott will be playing, my mentor.